If
it'll be
you're
better if
comfortable,
you can.
guys, then
Yeah,
please
if you're
go.
comfortable
Yeah.
only, please switch on the cameras. Otherwise, no problem. So yeah,
Ma'am will just look at our faces.
yes, yes. Beautiful faces though. Or I'll look at myself. I have a
I do
big
that a
screen.
lot.
So this happened to me. I was a very mean person initially as a youngster, but still there was something that was there, which I knew that I am a kind person, because I used to feel bad when I see old people working, or I see an animal in trouble or something like that. So I always knew that there is a softer side of mine inside somewhere. But basically, like many of those kids, just a second, I'll just mute my WhatsApp. It is annoying me. Can you hear that pinging sound
No.
in between? No,
No,
right?
no.
So yeah, now we are good. So I was running after my goals because I wanted to achieve few things just like any other youngster. So it was a run, just like anybody else. It was a run, and in between, as many of you guys are aware of my accident that happened later in my life. Right now, I'm 39 years old. It happened when I was 30. 30,
Ma'am,
yeah,
we'll ask that
29, 30.
question later. Later. That question comes later.
Yeah. So before that, for around 26 years of my life was this run and this competition and this rage and anger. I was a child with learning disabilities. Still, I have learning disabilities. So I completed my second post graduation now, and yeah, because I just wanted to beat it. Because when somebody said I'm not good, I wanted to prove that I'm good, I'm the best. So still I think the traits are somewhere there, which is good. Now it is helping me, not like before. I had this anger element which was very strong before. Right now I do it with passion and love and happiness. So that is the difference basically. And like you asked me, when I came into this, what do you call, helping zone. You help people, you're kind to people, and you're a happy person. People say that, oh, when I see you I feel so happy. So I entered into that phase, and I fell into this trap that I believe that I have to help everyone, I have to be kind to everyone. All those people who are suffering are poor, you know you always feel that, right?
Yep.
Okay, this
Yes.
person is poor, financially backward, so that person is poor person. Like, uh, yeah, they are poor financially, but they might not be that deserving mentally, or their activity wise they'll be like the not really deserving group. So initially I fell into this trap that I helped everyone, people took me for granted.
Hmm.
And then it progressed, and I realized that I have to keep a check on all these things, whom to help, whom to be with, whom to ignore. Though there'll be
Correct.
like suffering crowd, you can't just afford to fall into that, because they'll ooze everything out of you. So
Absolutely.
you guys, yeah, you guys are into this, helping people, empowering people. So beware of this, that certain people will drain you. You might have gone through that. Yeah,
Okay.
they'll exploit you. So
Hmm.
always check whom you are with.
Correct.
Yeah, help and leave is my way of doing it right now. Because I just do something for somebody, and I'll just leave after that. I will not stay for long.
You won't be emotionally attached to that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Because slowly, what will happen is they'll start ruling you. Not everyone, but I
Yeah.
have a lot of experiences like that. So, like you said right now, no, I'm not into everything. So, I decide what to do, where
Okay.
to put a stop, and where to restrict. Maya, definitely, I've opened my doors for Maya and Mind Empowered, because I'm I'm sure about I'm actually sure about it. Like, I figured out
Yeah.
what her intention is and what you guys are doing. So I'm
Thank
always there for
you.
everything. That's why whenever you ask me, I'm there. I say.
That's
So it's
really
not,
sweet of you,
yeah.
ma'am. Thank you.
And I have health issues. I have work. I have my son. I have a 9-year-old. So I have everything, and I make sure that I give time to everything. So it is
Ah,
all about prioritizing. When
right.
my father was ill, and something that we all face these days, kids just fly away.
Yeah.
So the parents are left alone. And when they are ill, nobody will be there to take care of them. So here in my place, I am the only one who's taking care of a lot of old people in my family and around me. So whenever somebody falls sick or somebody passes away, people just say, call Nina. So
Uh,
yeah, Abba, Nina, something like this happened. So assess this person. My father calls me and says, this person passed away. You go there and see what they want. So I go there and I assist them for everything, and then I leave.
True, got it.
And yeah, so that's what my karma is. I mean, what I have to do, the karma I have to do.
Yeah.
The reward has to come from the destiny, as we all
Yes.
say. We all believe in that,
Yeah.
people like us.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I do. Prioritize things. When my father is going through a bad health condition right now, kidney failure, fifth stage, so nothing can be done. His heart also came down to 20%. So we are actually trying to make him happy till he is alive. So now he is my priority. So when he needs me, I'll be there. I visit him in the morning, I visit him in the evening. So, but it's not like I won't take care of anybody else. I'll
True.
give him his time. I'll do my. Now I have a fever and I'm talking to you. So
Oh shit.
yeah, I feel good now. So I'm talking to you. If I was in a bad, shape, I would have told you.
Okay.
So that
Okay. So
that's how I
otherwise,
work now.
otherwise, I would have felt guilty that we're making you
No.
actually.
That's my point. The point I want to make is that when you feel that you're not good or not well, I mean physically or mentally, don't go for anything that you committed. I might sound rude or
No, no, no. In
harsh
fact,
or mean.
I totally believe, right? Even in aeroplanes, they say first put oxygen masks on yourself and then on your favorite child if you have two children,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's all about yourself. Because
Yes.
I have experienced that I've fallen many times in my life, literally fallen into coma for 10 days.
Hmm.
I was bedridden, half paralyzed for 4 days.
Yeah.
I thought I will never get up. But I realized that it is me and me.
True.
Yeah, I have me. So I have to take care of myself first, then others. So prioritize things and then move forward. That's the best way to do it, I think.
Okay, so according to my research team of one person that I have, that is me, who's a stalker, by the way, I am told that initially when you were selected for radio, right? I think you were amongst the first few women who in Kerala who started going as and who became an RJ in in the radio
Private
station.
FM stations.
Yes.
In 2007, private FM stations
Since
launched
you,
in Kerala.
yeah.
Since
So
then, I'm here.
so the voice trainer very nicely and bluntly kind of like told you that listen, your voice is not for radio. I think you should pursue some other career. So is that the main self of yours that made you want to prove that no, I want to do this, or was it something else that kind of
No,
decided?
at that time, I needed a job. I needed to get out of my house because I
Okay.
was bedridden for 1.5 years right before that. So
Oh,
I had met with an accident and my leg was in a cast for almost 1 year and 1.5 years.
oh shoot. Okay.
So what happened was I was going undergoing physiotherapy, and I just started to walk again. So what happened was my father and I didn't really maintain a good relationship. So he wanted me to be at home. So every day we have to meet, and I am useless and worthless and lying on bed eating his food, all that. I was very young, like early 20s.
Okay.
So this right before that, I finished my post graduation. Post graduation was in visual communication, so direction, camera, script writing, everything. And I wanted to get into movies, definitely, as a director or writer or a assistant director, something like that. So at that point, I had an offer coming up from B. Unikrishnan sir. He was about to do his debut, Smart City. So
Okay.
few of our classmates were chosen to assist him. So I was one among them. But my father didn't want me to get into this movie industry because they all think that it is not that reputed. So no movie, no one from our Tarawad
Yes.
movie. So, I challenged him. I said I'll go. When he calls me, I'll just leave. I don't care about anything. So that was the situation where when I'm meeting with this when I just met with this accident and I was completely bedridden. So you should understand the friction that was happening.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get out. So this 1.5 years were like 14 years of what do you call
Ram?
14 years of Vanavasa? Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was my destiny. Destiny it was different, and my path just got twisted and turned. So, and I want to get out. So I just found this notification from this particular company which I was working earlier. Then they didn't have a name or anything because radio is just launching. So
Yeah.
they didn't have any name. They didn't have an idea. Nobody has an idea how an FM radio works and what it is. I never used to listen to All India Radio much. We just had that, but that also never fascinated me. So I was not a radio person as such. But this was an opportunity for me to get out. So this was a walk-in interview, and I just went. And I went in the sense I was denied first by my father. Then my friend took me. That's a different story altogether. Then I got selected. So that was a struggle. And once I got in, they started training us at Calicut. We were all taken there. So then I'm getting to know that my voice right now also you can listen to me. I have a coarse voice. So years before, this was very shrieky and I sounded like a 12-year-old boy. We cannot blame them. When I listen to my links, we call it a radio link.
Okay.
So when I listen to my links 4-5 years ago, those links which I have done and I've recorded and I've kept it with me, I sound horrible. I was like, oh my god, I could have just slowed down a bit, and it is like so much of shouting and all.
Yeah.
But way before that, 16 years ago, when they trained me, they definitely found me so loved and so like, everything was a bit too much about me.
Okay.
Right now also you can see I have a fever, but I talk like this. So that is the way I talk. Then they said you won't fit. The person who told me that I might not fit in the industry, I won't blame him right now, because he might have thought that I'm a young girl, and if I get into this profession and I don't make it might affect my future.
Yeah, right.
He might have thought like that. And he might have thought if I can go back now and continue with what I was doing, it will help me more. And he might have thought. So he told me that just leave. This is not your cup of coffee. So maybe you can do something else. You just, and you're recovering. So you can actually go and take rest and get better. But that was again a nightmare for me, because I couldn't imagine going back to my father and, getting again like, oh yeah, stay in the bed and get better and try to walk and then search for some job and all. So that was lingering in my head, and I didn't want to lose this chance. So I thought I'll just prove, or I'll just stay here for a while and try, and if I get rejected, I'm ready to get rejections, because I've been rejected in my life many times before. Because nobody thought that I'm a good girl. I was never in that list. So from my locals, my native place, I still live in my native place. I never left. People just try to, when you hate your locality, you wish to run away. But I thought I'll just be here. Let them bear. And I'm still there. But now I think people like me because they call me for the local events and all as a guest and all. So,
that was quite courageous of you, ma'am, to stay at the place and like, okay. I mean, you don't like me, it's your problem, not mine.
Now you have to bear it if you don't like me. I'll be the same. But life changed. I mean, my character changed. Later I realized that some problem is there in me also. Society will be society, people will be people, parents will be parents, but we decide what to do with our lives. I was actually taking revenge. I hated my father at that point, and I somehow wanted him to, get insulted somewhere. So I created problems in my college school. So he comes and stands like this in front of my teacher. So I got a kick out of that. So,
are you the younger one by any chance?
Yeah,
okay.
Because because my sister is a studious woman. Still, she works with census, central government employee, just like my father wanted. She was the
Uh,
best student school in school. She was the best teacher's pet. So everybody, are you Nishapi Menon's sister? I find, you are Nishapi Menon's sister, and look at you. How come you are like this?
yeah.
I asked, what is wrong with me? And as I told you, I had problems with numbers. I still have. I had problems with literature, grammar, spelling,
Okay.
and slightly dyslexic. Like I can't write.
Hmm. Hmm.
Letter emission, the flipping of letters, everything. I'm a
Okay.
package. So, and hyperactive.
Okay.
Very பயங்கரம். இப்போ I am sober. This version is very sober. So
Oh, this is
you
your
can
sober
imagine
self, is it?
yeah, when I'm running 39, I'm this sober. I call this sober. So and my son tells me, you're a crazy mom. I have never seen anybody like you. So you can imagine what my parents would have. Yeah, I absolutely relate with such parents now. So I can tell them better because I was that kind of a child.
So, ma'am, coming to slightly serious topic that you had said about in one of your, I think, TED talks that you did. You said that I'm a soul born twice to the body. That's also there in your Insta handle. That's there on as a tattoo.
On my hands.
Yeah, your hands. And you'd said, that you had spoken about the Kairos factor, right? That you met your Kairos on 8th of November 2014. So could you tell our audience about it? Because when I heard it on TikTok, I literally cried. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
really moving for me. So I don't want to cry again, but I would really love it.
Even I don't cry now.
I would really
Hey,
love
Sonia,
it
thanks for switching on the camera.
if you could just kind of like tell about what Kairos is, because I had to go to Google to check what does that mean, that word mean, right? And
Yeah, it means that point of your life where everything turns and you understand what you're here for.
yeah, so could you tell us about that incident?
Yes, it was, as you said, it happened on November 8th, 2020, it was 2014. Yeah, my son was 7 months old, and I had him and my husband. My husband was driving, so we were a happy family. I was the most Hungary proud, and I was the most commandi girl, woman in the city and in my office. And so I used to enjoy my life, and I used to be so proud that I reached that much in my life because I was a person who always got to hear that you will not go anywhere, you will not reach anywhere. You're not that good, you're bad, or your character is bad, you are incapable of doing things. So yeah, it was always that kind of a rage, you can say, that kind of a competitive mind that I had in a very negative way. So whatever came in my way, I just wiped them off and I continued my journey. I never was bothered about anybody who came against me or stood in my way.
Okay.
That kind of a person I used to be. And yeah, definitely charity and other things were happening simultaneously. That was a different thing for me altogether because whenever I earned something, I made it a point that I give it to somebody. A bit of it. I never hesitated. So that was happening, but otherwise I was very rude, you can say. Like I was not. People say I don't care, right? But I really didn't care. That kind of a person I used to be about others. Others happy, normal people. So they didn't matter to me. I always, yeah. Then I had, this is my second marriage. So I had married once for my parents. They found the guy, they got me married, and they got me divorced. Happily divorced. So that was a roller coaster ride for me. The whole episode, though it lasted very little. I don't want to mention the person's name or people. They're gone, done and dusted. I don't have anything against them. So that was a bad phase of my life, and I came back to my normal self after a few months and all. And later in my life, I met my current husband. I don't know whether I'll change him. Very just joking.
No, no, he seems to be
I
very sweet. I stalked him also. I stalked his Insta
yeah, yeah.
handle also.
Like, he's a very kind guy. Very, very kind man. When we say woman and man equality, uh, I believe in that because I give him some space now.
Hmm. Yes.
I give him some space, yeah. But he
Some
is
being
very
the
obedient.
keyword.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this guy is a very nice guy. So it's been 10 years since we got married.
Hmm.
So this was the first few years. Like, I got pregnant in right after our marriage because we were longing for a child. I was 29 then. I was not longing. My husband was longing for a child. I was 29 then. My husband was 42 then. So we have this age gap of 14 years. And so this child was very precious, still is precious, but then. So he is very precious, and he's just 7 months, and we just got him baptized and all according to their religion and all. I didn't have an issue. Nobody has an issue. So we were like very happy family. And we were going to his place. His native is Mavelikara. So on a weekend, we were just going to visit his parents there. On the way, it was some I think around 4:35. I suddenly get to see a KSRTC bus coming towards us. Then I get to see. So right before this, 10 minutes before this, my son started screaming and crying. So this guy, my husband was in US and all for some time, for a few years. So he believes in keeping the child behind, like in a car seat, locked. So that is the safer way. That is the rule there. So we had kept him in a car seat. He was sleeping. But right before 10 minutes, this guy started screaming and all, my son. So I was wondering why, and we took him off the car seat and he puked on me. So I thought maybe something bit him, some ants or something. So we checked the whole car seat, but we couldn't see anything. Then I cleaned myself. Then the child is not stopping. He's crying and crying. So I thought of I desire to keep him on my lap. And after some time, right after 10 minutes, I believe, yeah, I see this. Like, my car is going, and there is a KSRTC bus coming right opposite to us, and it is a narrow road. If you know Haripad, it happened next to KV Jetty. That is the place I'll never forget. So I suddenly I get to see, you see in movies, a villain is coming, jumping from the back of another vehicle. Just like that, I get to see another Bolero, big car, jumping to our side.
Ayyo.
And there was, I think, some 15 meters or 10 meters gap. Just that is left between me and that, I mean, our car and that car. And it just rammed onto us. It was just a boom, wink of an eye, and everything changed. So I'm watching all these because I'm sitting there in the navigator seat. So then there was a big bang, and I was thrown out of my car seat. My seatbelt was a bit damaged. That is another long story. Just like destiny had kept everything right for us. I see it like that because if that seatbelt was not damaged, I would have sat on the seat and my son would have gone out of the windshield and he would have died. Just 7 months. And simultaneously, this was happening. I was thrown out of my seat and my head went and hit the windshield. I dropped my son down. So he went inside underneath the dashboard. The dashboard was crushed too close that my husband was stuck inside the steering wheel was stuck inside his chest. So his ribs were totally crushed. And he lost his consciousness. I didn't lose anything. I was fully conscious. I see my face hanging from the glass. Hair. If it is sounding gross, please quit. I don't want anybody fainting. Soft-hearted people. So, and I came back and sat on my seat, and I see my son underneath, and I took him out, but my eye was getting clogged. One eye got covered with this flush and blood and all because the whole entire portion was ripped off from my face, and blood was just I could see some fountains like this blood flowing. from all those places, you know. And I realized that something is really bad, and I don't know what it is. I see blood. I don't know whether it is from me or my son, or I don't know. And just like I told you before, Destiny had kept everything ready. In few minutes, no time, another highway patrolling ambulance came. People just rushed towards our car. Our car spinned uh, three times, I think. Yeah, that's what I was told. And yeah, I was taken out of my car, and I could see flesh and blood falling to the road from my face. So I knew that something and all is lost. Then I see my husband with the steering wheel inside his chest, and the door was jammed. So they had to, crack it open, and they had to pull him out of the car. And we all were rushed to the
Hospital.
hospital, Mandana Medical College. So what happened was my mind is working. I have this, though I am, not really able to figure out this. My mind, my presence of mind is very sharp. So whenever a crisis come, I just okay, fine. What is the solution? I search for it. It's like you told in the intro. So my mind was working. So I could see another lady sitting and looking at me and screaming like, "Ayyo," and then I looked like a ghost. I can't blame her. So she was screaming. She was from the other vehicle which hit me, an old woman. So I asked her, "Do you have a phone?" Because my mind said my phone is in my car, so nobody will know where we are. We just got out from Kochi, and we never reached Mavelikara. So both the old parents will never get to know. My parents are here, his parents are there. So, and I asked her, so she said, "Illa, no, 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 I don't have a phone." Then I said, "You do one thing, you ask the driver whether he has a phone." So she got his phone, and my ear just, it was not working. I could just hear a beep inside my ear because the bang was really hard. So it banged really hard on the windshield. So I could, I just had this coo in my ear, and I told her, "I can just remember this number, please type." And I told my mother's number, and she called my mother. That was the first call they are getting. They got out from my home, and they reached there later. That's a different story again. Then I was left in the casualty. I should say that. I was left in the casualty alone. My husband was taken to the operation theater then because his 9 ribs were broken. One got into kidney, one into lung, rest into his intestine, and one piece of his intestine was taken off later. And he went through a lot, and he survived. But people said he will pass away in 48 hours. His condition was very bad. And my son was taken away from me somewhere. I don't know where. So it was like chaos in my head. And I was lying there, and I knew that something is going from my body. I feel very light because my artery was cut here. So I was bleeding. Then later they understood that my artery was cut and I'm almost fading away. They got me all these blood and all. Then this happened. There was nobody. I was naked, and I was covered with a mundu. And I could hear a few people because I can't see. By the time my eyes are totally clogged with blood, because there is nothing on my face. And my ears are slowly fading away because I don't know what was happening then. Might be because of the loud noise. But I was just paying attention to what is happening around because I was wondering, I'm naked, and we get to listen to a lot of stories happening in hospitals and all. And it is a Saturday, nobody around, very less people, I mean, nurses and doctors. Then I heard somebody coming to me and saying that, "Sister, we are here to assist you." So I asked, "Who are you?" Then they said, "We are locals." Then I understood that this is a guy, and there are so many other men, standing next to my stretcher. And I was like, "I'm not wearing anything." So they said, "We know." And they're removing my earrings and all. So I was like, my tali and my chain, my everything, my watch and all. So I thought, okay, gone. I know what is going to happen next. Then I heard the doctor or nurse, somebody saying that they have to take a CT scan of my head. Then these these people slowly started, taking me to the CT room somewhere. They're just dragging my stretcher. Then I asked, where are you taking me to? And they said, CT scan edukanam. So I said, no, you can't lift me because I'm naked. I'm not wearing anything. So they said, we know, we'll take care of it. We'll not, make you uncomfortable and all. But I didn't believe that. I didn't trust them. We won't trust anybody. No woman will trust anyone at that scenario situation. But they actually covered me with that lungi, and they took me with the bed sheets, along with the bed sheet, and they covered me properly, and they did everything. I was in immense pain, but I was actually paying attention to this. So they help my parents, they help my in-laws. They're all very old. My sister-in-laws are all abroad. One came down, but till then and till they left the hospital, they were there. Shukur, many others, 8 guys. I went back to them. I did few things. That is all not relevant there. So what they did was, then I started thinking. I asked my mother later. They shifted me to Ernakulam for plastic surgery and all, but they couldn't do anything. They just could fix this eyelid from my leg. So, and I asked my mother, who are they? Then she said, they are local vendors, JCB drivers, bus conductors. They all live in that locality, but whenever this happens to, that is an accident prone area.
Okay.
So black spot basically. So this happens, and they leave all their chores, their work, everything, their daily wages, everything, and they come and help these people. And whoever uh, goes through this situation, they are there to help. Still, I believe, yeah, still. So that was an eye opener. I was like, oh shit, have I ever helped anybody out of the way like this? And I have, as I told you,
Right.
and I have time. I have, when
Done
I
it, huh?
am at that kind of a position, I help. Otherwise, have I ever gone this far and helped someone?
Yeah, they
Then I
gave up their
realized,
daily wages, right? They give up their daily wages just to save
yeah, just to save people, just to be there,
and
just to
not
give them.
expect anything in return, not
Yes,
expecting money or whatever that they have,
absolutely. And then I decided, okay, just get up from there. Whether you have a face or not, now you have to find out your soul, what you really are. So that was another eye opener, because I didn't have a face. When I look in the mirror, I see something. I used to be gorgeous. I used to flaunt my beauty. People used to say, "Oh, Chaka's beautiful girl," but everything was gone in one snap of a
Snap.
finger.
Yeah.
And I could see just a pale, just something is oozing out always, bleeding. No lip. Now also I don't have this part of my lip. I've just put some lipstick just to
Uh,
look good. So
but that
we can
comes out
always
from the
manage.
heart,
Yeah.
right? Like we always say, it's the inner beauty that counts than the outer beauty. That's what we try and
Yeah. But my mother always says, "Chattu kadanalu chamanja kadakano." If you're dead, also put some makeup and be beautiful. So, yeah. So, I, 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 I think that's why my face came back, because I changed my attitude towards life. I
yeah.
started smiling at people straight from my heart. And
Hmm.
that day I decided that if ever I am smiling at a person, that'll be genuine. If I'm not in a position to smile, I will not smile. And I
Makes sense.
decided, if I don't like anybody or I have an issue, I'll just go and tell that person that, see, I have an issue with you. That is this, but I can change. I can change my attitude towards you. Give me some time. Till then, I might not be able to smile at you. I won't give a fake smile. I'm sure about that. Till date, I've been practicing. It's been 8 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm progressing day by day. And I decided to shed my ego. I used to be an ahangari, egoistic person. I used to be the most egoistic person in the entire world, I think. But I'm confident to say that I've kept it aside. When I see people, I make sure that I respect them straight from my heart, not a
Yeah.
put up respect or put up face, anything like that. So, and whatever I can, if ever I can walk and do things for somebody, I'll do that. Yeah. So
So, ma'am,
that's the story.
when I was stalking your Instagram, right, I have seen.
It's open, so you don't have to stop.
Yeah, but I kept going back to it. So I've become like a fangirl of yours because the way you have portrayed people, right? In a space in social media where people are trolling others, right? They're talking about the problems that the country or the government is doing. Very, you rarely find people who show the goodness, who actually, that's why I meant when I said that you restore the faith in humanity. You show the people who are doing good will for others without expecting, anything in return. So what was the thought behind it? Because very rarely is this a part of, where you met your kairos and, you decided that
No.
you should do this, or there was some other thought process that, that would.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There is an incident which happened many years ago when I was a student. Okay. Before coming to that, I never had a social media. Even after joining radio, I'm not a social media person. I'm a real life person. Uh, you see things on my social media. I do millions of other things in my real life, which I really enjoy. And I have more people outside social media. Like social
Hmm.
media people, they never stick. They just unfollow you when they're bored, and
Yeah.
they're not real.
Yeah.
They just idolize. They just idolize. So I I use my social media to showcase things that can be possible by an ordinary person. I am an ordinary person. I live in an ordinary house. I have ordinary parents. I'm no superhuman. Just that I've passed all these ridiculous things that those happened in my life, which I actually don't think ridiculous anymore, because people will say, "Oh my God, how did you overcome all that?" I said, that was my journey. Maybe just like I told you, karma.
Hmm.
You do something, you fetch it from the universe.
Yeah.
So I fetched. If I was a bee in my life, I got it back. That's it. When I was in hospital without a face, people used to come and tell me that it's okay. The universe, the God is, like what testing you. I said, what? God is not an examiner to give you a test and see whether you pass or not. You did something to others and you get it. I'm getting it. I've
Yeah.
hurt somebody. I've made people cry. I've made my parents ashamed and insulted. I've done many things to hurt people. So many people have cried in front of me. I enjoyed their tears. And whoever gave bad things to me, I gave double. I made sure that they suffer. So I have to suffer for all that. I got that. So that part is over. Now it's time for me to fetch good things. So I'm fetching that. That's it. So the social media part, there is an incident which always linger in my head, which happened when I was doing my post graduation. Uh, I was doing visual communication, so we had to do a documentary. So I wanted to see then one thing that is there in our head is be different from others. Do something different so that you get more marks, more scores. So I wanted to do something on differently abled children. I'm talking about the early 2000s, and I was a student. So right now I'm 39, so you can calculate. I'm bad with numbers. So uh, why? So then when I checked the trend, differently able children are portrayed in a very sad way. You put a sad music and you
Wow.
shoot them and show them. I was like, why? Isn't there anything chill about them? They'll be having their own kind of enjoyment, right? So I approached a school at Fort Kochi. You might have heard about Raksha school. So I went there and I asked permission. I got the permission and I interacted with the children, and I found it as the best place in the city. So many happy faces. I cracked some joke. They all laugh. They all hug. And so few days I spent with them. Then I decided they were doing a lot of activities like carpentry. They were making stools, chairs. They were making candles and all. So those were the activities with them. So I thought, why can't I showcase the best side of theirs? Like they are doing all these things, and why are you saying that they are differently able and sad? No, they are not sad. In their own space, they are very good, and there are parents who support them immensely to empower them, to empower, encourage, and mold them into great artists, maybe. So
Yeah.
you may never know. And I decided to make a documentary on the happy side, and I named it an Odyssey of Mind.
An
So that
Odyssey
would
of
be mind.
mind. Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is an Odyssey. Odyssey is like Vankara roller coaster ride. It is
Yes.
a sail, that kind
Yes.
of a sea sail. So they are like that. They just brim and like, with energy, lot of energy and laughter. I enjoyed. And one day this happened. I before shooting, I was planning with these children and all, and I had to make a rapport. So I am a person who gets along with children very fast. So I went there, and I had two guys who were helping me out. So there was one child who just came running to me, a boy. Two, three children came running to me because they had seen me 2, 3 days back, and we had a very good time. And this guy was chewing a chocolate, I think eclair or something. So he came running to me, and they all hugged me. And so I just bended, kneeled down, and I was talking to them. And this guy took that chewed part of that chocolate and gave it to me. So I could hear people next to me, standing next to me, saying, "Oh, because it was full of his saliva.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was totally chewed." But I didn't have a second thought. I just had it in my mouth and I ate it. This guy gave me a big long kiss. He just loved it. I think nobody has done that. Then I started thinking, it actually affected me very deeply, touched me. And I was thinking, why can't I be like them? Why can't I be so like unconditionally, why can't I unconditionally love someone or accept someone? He just saw me 2 days ago, and he is very close to me. He accepted me. So that is the innocence. If you're intelligent and egoistic and bad, what is the point? If your intelligence is a bit low, but you're so innocent and you can love this, the purest form of love. So that a little bit of shake. I was shaken a bit. My mind was shaken. And then I finished this, and I always had this in my head. And I at times, when you get overloaded with ego, you listen to yourself for a moment, and you be aware of what you're
Yeah.
going through. Oh
Yeah.
shit, this is my ego. I'm so egoistic, and I shouldn't be like this. Right? That kind of a thought,
Comes
if
in.
if that kind of a thought comes in, you're lucky because you're aware. That's what I feel about that. And I was aware. At times this awareness sneak in, and then I think about this boy. And I always tell myself, be like a child, be like that child. Don't go for your bloody intelligence. Just be like a child. Then I read about Vincent Van Gogh, the ultimate artist, Vincent Van Gogh. Do you know what he wanted to be? He wanted to draw like a child towards the end, because it is so difficult to draw like a child. Have you ever tried? Then you should check out his, drawings towards the end of his life. He tried to draw a vattam and two circles and make a small portrait of a coal man. It is difficult. You can't. Pablo, what is his name? There is another painter who also tried that, because that is the most difficult thing to do in this world. Be innocent and fresh and open like a child. So still I'm doing that. I'm trying to do that. My son is also helping me, because whenever you feel that you're something, I'll say no. Be like a child. Be like a child. I always remind myself, and I decided, what does a child want to see on social media? Cartoons, happiness, or informations. So whenever you open a cartoon channel, you get to see a lot of negative cartoons these days. They cater all these
Yeah.
bad cartoon, this thing for children, toxic, fights, and all the games are all polluted. So I decided that if ever I am operating a social media, that will be for positive things. There are
Yeah.
millions of people who are catering negative things, though. Few people who want to see something good. come to my page. I'll cater you that only. Because I don't have space for negativity anymore in my life. I had enough and I gave enough. So now it's time to spread happiness. If I
Yeah,
don't have anything to say, I don't say anything.
yeah, like you said, I think in one of your reels you had said, "Oh shit, I'm now sounding like a total this thing, huh? Somebody who
Stalker.
So I think you had said where there was a lotus, a dried lotus or something, and you had said instead of removing negative people from you, remove the negativity from within you. So
See,
that really
I would
stuck me.
like to add one thing. That is a motivational video the other guy meant. So there is a lotus, and
Yeah.
you remove that outer layer, which is dirty. And he gave a caption like, remove negative people from your life. That itself is negativity. Who is negative people? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see any negative people in my life. I face people, I see people who talk bad to me, who behave in a bad manner to me, who get angry or who hate me. But I don't see them as a bad, negative person. That will be his circumstances. Or he just doesn't like anything or something that is in me, that I emit. That
Yeah.
is not his problem. So how can I say I am the good one? I should remove all negative. I might be the worst one. That's why good people are not sticking to me. So you should turn the other way and look at yourself. What are you emitting? So
Yeah.
instead of judging people, judge yourself. You are yours, so you are free to judge yourself.
Like that. Okay, now for some rapid, though I would love to go on and on talking to you, but I'm sure there's not much time and you're not feeling well also. So, quickly,
It's okay.
a rapid fire round. All right. So, sketching or dancing? Because I know you do both.
Um, lying down and sleeping. Can I say something else?
Okay, that was not on your social media, so I have no idea about
Now
that.
I'm a couch potato basically. So you must understand how difficult it will be for me to sit and talk to you, go
Yeah.
out and do things for something. I basically like to lie down, read something, sleep, eat, but I don't get to do that.
So, okay, so next, the maximum plank time that you have done. Plank.
135.
Oh, the one, the same
Yeah.
thing that was there on your
Yeah,
Insta?
I go till that. Then I quit. Like I don't try much.
Much.
I'm a lazy again. I do all that for fun. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not a I'm not a workout freak or
Oh,
anything.
you are
I just
not?
love to swim. Yeah, I like to swim. That's
Okay.
it.
So, who influenced you most while you were growing up?
Not really while I'm growing up because nobody. Then I hated everyone. But
Okay.
later in my life, I understood that the biggest lesson I should learn is from my mother, because not like others say. My mother always, sorry, yeah.
Hmm.
That is, whenever I ask her about something that others do to her, see, typical homemade, she's a homemaker, and she's a typical mom, a conservative family, a male chauvinistic husband who doesn't help. She has to do everything. And still, when she is sick, nobody cares. So, for a long time, I thought that she should be treated bad, in a bad manner, with least respect, because I see my father coming in, she serves him. So I
Hmm.
thought, okay, she's supposed to do that as a girl child.
Hmm.
So that is one major thing that we see.
True.
So I used to take her for granted. And I used to tell her, "Food don't do Alanda." And I never wasted a chance to insult her anywhere. Like whenever whenever I behave in an improper way, she tells not like that, don't do like that. Who are you to say? You go mind your business. Yeah, I used to be that kind of a person.
Hmm.
Then later when I grew up, I asked her one day, why are you bearing all these? Why
Hmm.
are you doing all these things? For nobody is respecting you, you're not really getting anything, or you're not even getting any appreciation. So one sentence she told us, "Karmanyevadhikaraste ma baleshu kasarachat." She said, this is my life. I got married to your dad. He is that kind of a person. Let him be. I'm this kind of a person. Let me be. I'm doing my part. So that is like a biggest eye opener. I mean, yes. Why am I trying to change with this? This is what Mahatma Gandhi said. If you want to be, if you want to change something, be the change. My mother is also saying that. So she is rare a level. So I understood that she is one person who's full of quality.
Yeah.
Vankara. And many dialogues she said. The locals used to talk bad about me because I'm a bit tomboyish and I always used to walk around with guys in early 90s.
Hmm.
90s, late
Ah.
90s, yeah. So my mother used to tell me, I'll tell in Malayalam, നീ പോകുന്ന വഴി കുറെ തെരുവ് പട്ടികളുണ്ടാവും. So you'll meet a lot of stray dogs on road. They'll bark at you. Will you stop and bark back at them? I said no. Then why? So I was like, wow, my mom is something.
Yeah.
So a lot of things. She's a sadhara woman, an ordinary woman. Nothing.
Hmm.
But my dad at that time, you have noticed my name, right? Neena Prabhavati Menon is my name.
Hmm.
Prabhavati is my mother. He put it then in 1984. So he definitely loved her. But she understood that that was her life and she did what she could. She's still doing what she can. So I am also following her. So definitely she is my role model.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
And so have you seen anything lately that made you smile? Like, feel
I
nice?
smile always. I
Sorry?
always feel nice.
You always.
No, every morning I take it as a bonus because I thought my life ended once. I'll never see my son, I'll never see my husband, or I'll never get to see anything beautiful in this world. There was a day like that in my life. So from then on, every morning is a bonus for me. If I can move my leg and hand, I am the happiest because that is where I get stuck. At
Hmm.
times my left side is at risk. At times it just stops a bit,
Ah.
slows down.
Hmm.
Uh, I go bedridden. I go unconscious for a few days. So if I am awake, I can move my leg and hands. I am the happiest. Then that will make me smile.
Ma'am, seriously, you truly, I mean, I'm like a total fangirl of yours.
The thing is that I lost my eyelid.
Yeah.
The whole portion went off, but this portion was grafted twice and it didn't work. Then they had to take skin from my leg and keep it. So this is my leg blinking on my face. Can you believe it? So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so you can see a lot of patchworks and
Hmm.
deformation and all. But still, you will not believe one day without an eyelid is hell.
Yeah, because
Seriously,
things
because
can keep going inside.
everything. You have no idea. Millions of particles every millisecond it gets into our eyes, and this protects us. We don't know. We don't realize the blessing.
We take it for granted,
Yeah.
actually.
So for two months, I walked around without an eyelid, and every night I sleep. This eyeball it goes off, behind when you sleep,
Yeah.
but this is open. So what will happen? It gets dried up. Then when this pupil comes down, oh, it's hell.
It must be
I cannot.
painful.
Yeah, I cannot explain it with words because
Hmm.
that'll leave me speechless because that is what our body is. It's magic.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's why I told you if body is working perfectly,
That is.
that will make you smile, and that is a blessing. You should
Yeah.
understand. Everybody should understand that. A
Absolutely.
healthy body is a blessing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I
My
mean,
pleasure.
people like you have the ability to influence people and leave that impact. I mean, I'm yet to meet somebody who's so self-aware of themselves and who manages. I'm sure it has been a tough ride for you, but the but the way you kind of like look at you kind of bring humor to it, to the entire aspect of it, as if it's some movie that is going on, right? But
I would like to add to that. Usually, what people do is they just carry their burden in their heads forever. Like
yeah.
you go through, whether it is physical abuse, whether it is accident, whether it is death of some favorite person, you just carry it. But it's that moment. You don't have to carry it. So once you realize that, it becomes like a story. The pain
Yeah.
you experienced, I tell my son how I delivered him. So he asked me, through this small hole I came out. I said, where do you think I pee from? A well? No, it's a small hole, and you came out of a small, very small hole, which this body expanded for you. So who are you? You're a blessing. So he's like, yeah, yes. So I take care of your body and your girl's body. My son is 9. So
Yeah.
that's how we can bring in awareness in men.
Men,
You
yeah.
have to tell your child how important the body of yours and your partners, future partners.
Yes.
What
Yes.
is, yeah. So he'll start seeing that in,
Later,
that through
but then,
that perspective.
yeah, but then
They'll
late.
never forget. At
Yes.
this age, they won't forget. So I tell
Yeah.
him everything. I've started I've started giving him sex education slowly, physiology, biology, periods, delivery, and these days kids get to watch everything.
Everything,
They have
yes.
to. Okay, Netflix. You open a series in Netflix, you see nudity and sex. So
Ah.
during COVID, their teachers have told them to, whichever word you have a doubt, type it on Google and understand the meaning. So nudity, the child will click and he'll get sex, he'll get videos.
Yeah.
He used to understand. And parents, I would love to tell them that their children are so big now.
Yeah.
9 years, he's an adult.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. The kind of
he'll get to
exposure
watch.
everyone has, yes.
These kids will get to watch a lot of videos from their seniors, which is actually happening
Yeah.
now.
Hmm.
And my son got exposed to something like that recently, and I handled it. I'm thankful that I could.
Yeah.
But every moms will not. One of my friends, she actually told her son that kids are bought from hospitals. So recently, he happened to watch a video through the senior, and he doesn't trust his mom now because she lied. So
Yeah.
you tell your son to come and tell me everything. How will they?
Yeah.
Because yeah, they will not trust you for lying.
No, and they keep asking you questions just to test whether
You're telling the
the
truth.
truth or not. They
You
might
will
already
or
know.
not.
Yeah, they might already know the truth about it also. Like I
So
have 11-year-old, so I totally get
yeah.
you.
And about this, carrying these memories in your head is not worth it.
Yeah.
They are just memories. My accident, my everything, they are just memories. I don't have to carry the burden. I am always free to shed it.
Yeah, but ma'am, like I said, it's very rarely you find such people who have this ability. So
No, you have to get reminded. That is the only
Only
thing.
thing.
If I remind you constantly, you will never forget.
True.
So you have to remind yourself.
Of that.
As there
Yeah.
are very few people to remind. People will tell, oh, yo, that happened to you now. Now, are you okay? One day, I was sitting in the hospital for this follow-up of this years ago. Then an old woman came and asked me, what happened to your ears? There is a big scar. And I said, when I was walking through a road, I mean, next to my house, there was a coconut tree and a tenga fell on my face. She believed. And she said, oh, tenga, kanda kuttiയുടെ തേങ്ങ വീണതാ മുഖത്ത്. She is happy, I am also happy.
Yeah, I know. The place where I used to work before, there a guy he had a scar on his eye. He had met with an accident. He has a scar. So anybody would ask him, he would say, "Oh, I used to go for hiking in forest, and a bear attacked me." And people would believe very
Yeah.
easily.
And I have a scar over here. Again, another surgery. So few people whenever I wear a sleeveless, people ask, what happened? And I said somebody attacked me with a body ball and I just blocked him like this. So people have this tendency to ask,
Ask,
what,
yeah.
what?
What
And
happened?
everybody asks, "ഇപ്പൊ കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ?" I mean, "Oh, എന്നും കുഴപ്പമാ. I am so unwell." So they are happy. Let them be. A little little bit of happiness for them. If they get happiness listening to my sad story, let them be. Who cares?
That's how you spread happiness also.
Well, I cater people what they wish for, what they ask for. That's all I can do.
No, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much love to you. And I hope to God he keeps blessing you with the best of everything in
Yes.
life,
Thank
because
you.
you surely are the color to when the world looks grey. Guess where I got this caption
I know that's
from?
my caption. You little thief, kochi galli. You stole my caption.
Yes, I did. I stole your caption. But really, ma'am, seriously, thank you so, so, so much. It's, I
Yeah,
think,
thank you, ma'am. Really, I mean, when I met you that time, I had no clue about your life story. I did not know anything, and it was much later. And then when I told Srila, she just filled me in, and I was like, oh my god! And today, actually, I have got to know so much more about you, and God
There is
bless you,
so much
ma'am.
more to know, Maya. There is so
Yeah.
much more to know.
No, but just this much itself, like you're so inspiring, and may God bless you with the best of health, ma'am, to help out many more.
Thank you,
I
Maya.
mean, yeah, I love your perspectives. You're just too good.